Welcome, Michelle. Would you please introduce yourself, let us know what organization you represent, and let us know how you'd like to be addressed.
Huleksipugwe, Nin Deluisi Michelle Paul, also known as the Woman of the Green Earth. Wedebeksi Jabokduk, Wigi, Gold River, Wasohoba First Nation.
Okay.
For those of you who don't speak Mi'kmaq, I said my name is Woman of the Green Earth, Michelle Paul. My roots are from here, Halifax, and I live right now on the Gold River Reserve for the Wasohoba First Nation.
And how would you like me to refer to you?
As a treaty rights holder.
Okay. Could we use your name though?
You
please?
sure can. That's the name my mother gave me. Michelle.
Michelle is yeah, okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that. So now you have 10 minutes to speak with us. We look forward to hearing you.
Well, Aliok, I'm here to speak on this bill you call 127. In specific, the changes that you wish to make on the Crown, what you call the Crown Lands Act. I hope you have in front of you my submission, do you? I provided a submission that outlines all of your laws and our laws that are applicable to this bill. Please, someone shaking their head and let me know you have it. Please get it before I begin, and please don't deduct that off my time, because I was informed that you would be presented my submission so you could follow along.
Just stand by for a moment. I won't deduct that from your time. We'll just take a moment and circulate the information. Okay, we all have now a copy of your submission. We apologize for that, and I'm starting your time again at 10 minutes, so please proceed.
This written submission outlines all of your laws and our laws that will be affected and impeded and infringed upon shall you choose to go ahead and accept this Omnibus Bill 127 as it's been written. Before I begin, since you have all this, I'll allow you guys to take the time, hopefully you'll read it and absorb it into your minds, bodies, and spirits, because it was thoughtfully compiled. And it is, to my knowledge, comprehensive. A comprehensive submission of the record that we know to date. So this Crown Lands Act effort, it's not lost upon us, first and foremost, the timing of it all, which I would be, Miss Gay, I'm sorry, but I have to say it, and I have to speak matter-of-factly. It's not lost upon us that it's being rushed through during our time of the days on the eve of Treaty Day and the National, TRC, the Truth and Reconciliation Day, that these shirts represent, that a lot of you and a lot of your representatives and a lot of Nova Scotians wear to honor our ones who survived residential schools and those who didn't make it home, which is such a, every child matters is such a beautiful message. And I just have to say, how dare you, Tim Houston? How dare you do this on the eve of these two special days that our people are busy gathering and busy preparing and we're coming with our side of it. We have nothing to reconcile, but we come with our side of it as far as education and raising awareness and standing proud and respectful for the shoulders of our ancestors that we stand upon. This government has shown a disregard and a lack of respect to push this through in this timing. So I want to say that first and foremost. I also want to say that we have Ilnug, land and water protectors standing on Hunter's Mountain in Unama'ki, otherwise known as Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. And it's an affront to our treaty rights and our history, quite frankly. Again, I speak matter of fact. It's an affront to our treaty rights and history that this bill attempts to remove our land protectors from their rightful place to protect these lands and waters that our ancestors lived upon and used. It's all upheld in your laws, and Section 35 is constitutionally protected, and that's why I provided this, because your laws are in here. It'll tell you line by line all the laws that you're breaking, that you agreed to uphold and honor. And what you're showing us, as we already know, unfortunately, there's no honor in the Crown. That's sad. That's sad when you act without honor and respect, because that's not who we are as Mi'kmaq. We're respectful. And those on the mountain, those protectors on the mountain, they're doing what their ancestors who came before them did. They're gathering medicines. They're protecting the moose, protecting the trees from the, interests of industry. And it's unfortunate that this government has colluded and gave permission to these actors, these industry actors, without our informed consent. That's another law, the free, informed, prior consent of you're sidestepping all of your agreements. And right on the eve of Treaty Day, you're going to go over to that building and you're going to smile and take pictures with our Indian Act leaders and pat yourselves on the shoulder like you're doing a good thing. Well, I'm here to remind you that we speak for all of Mi'kmaq. We speak for not just the people, the Unuk. We speak for the lands, we speak for the waters, we speak for the medicines, we speak for the animals, those who don't have a voice to speak up. That's why I'm here today. And on my journey here, I was met with the spirit of 4 animals. I woke up to the sound of the crow. You know the sound of the crow? Very loud, intentionally, because the crow's the first one that enters the forest to let everybody know someone's coming. So the crow is like a messenger. Then I went out to my back step, 2 deer in my backyard. That's a spirit of kindness, spirit of gentleness and calmness, I even got a video. Then on my drive here, on the highway, a doodlewidge, a little squirrel crossed by me. That's the spirit of collecting and gathering. And that's what we intend to do as the Mi'kmaq. We're going to gather and collect not just the information, but the people, all the people, because this Nova Scotia Protection Act is intended, my understanding, to protect the people. Moho, no. The people who are doing the protecting are on Hunter's Mountain right now. All due respect to them, and the honor and the glory should be given to them for being up there and sacrificing their lives and their dedication and their hearts and spirits to defend the sacred. The last animal I saw was Gitbo. An eagle circled above me when I was driving to pick up one of my gajoos from Spaganagadic, and that represents love. Gitbo, eagle represents love. So I might speak blunt and I might speak matter of fact. You have the written words here that back up all the laws. You can read that all. But I was guided to speak from my heart today. And that's what I am doing. Right from my spirit to your spirit, to appeal to your humanity, to appeal to your values, your morality. I had to be given this as a visitor today. I'm apparently a visitor on my own lands, but I'm here to remind you who the visitors are. You all are the visitors in Mi'kmaq. You all are here as guests in our homelands, and I say that with the utmost respect. We've welcomed you to our shores. We've had treaties that honor peace and friendship, and we've upheld our side of the bargain. And how much time do I have left? I have a story to tell you. That's long enough. So my elders have shared this story with me that I think you need reminding on. I'm going to speed up my speech. Okay. So it goes a little something like this. Ever hear of the burying of the hatchet? That was an actual ceremony that took place on the steps of where the courthouse is here in Jabukduk and Halifax, right around that area. There was a ceremony that actually took place, and it was a Crown representative and our chief representative that were there that day. And I'm just giving you a synopsis of what went down that day, because it's very important for you to hear this and remember this, that we buried the hatchet because our treaties is what allowed freedom of settlement to occur. And then you kept coming and taking and taking and taking. And then Cornwallis with his proclamation for sculpting and all these things, all the warring and everything. In an effort to stop that and pause that, this ceremony took place, the burying of the hatchet. Look it up. And our chief representative said to the Crown chief representative, 2 things I want you to remember today. We do not believe you to be true human. First thing. From your behavior. Second thing, you will pay for what you use. Remember that. That's not my words. That's my ancestors' words. You go look in the record and it's in a side note. And effectively what this bill attempts is to unbury that hatchet. I'm sad and sorry to say that. But our people won't be molested. It's written in our treaty. We will not be hindered. We are permitted to, our treaties say, to roam free on our homelands. And us as women, I brought my medicine bag today because when we harvest our medicines, that's our true connection with the earth and with our homelands. And we are doing that. And our ancestral governance structures are alive and well. I'm not talking about the Indian Act chiefs. I'm not talking about all the Native organizations that have claimed to represent our voices. Moho. No. The ancestral governance structures are alive and well. And you need to know that the women are gathering and the women are going through wise counsel. We have our own ways of governance. And when we do it, it's powerful. We do it in ceremony, which evokes the ancestors.
I'm going to stop you at that, but we have 5 minutes now for questions. So thank you. Thank you very much for your presentation. Speaking first, we have MLA Lachance, please.
Thank you so much for being here as a treaty rights holder. And I'm humbled as you hold an eagle feather as you speak. And I'm deeply sorry for the things that have been happening under this government. And that you still have brought forward your words and the views of the community are really important. So just to say from our perspective on this side, we are continually fighting for the upholding of treaty rights and implementation of the TRC calls to action, UNDRIP, and the calls for justice. But I just really want to thank you for coming into this structure and this situation today. I'm wondering, in terms of next steps with regards to this bill, what you would recommend.
Recognize Michelle, please.
Okay. Well, yeah. Thank you for acknowledging that. And thank you for your question. What we want ultimately is for no restriction. And we want our treaty law to be upheld, first and foremost. Let's just say it as simple as possible. And the law calls for a $50,000 fine or a 6 months term in jail for the protectors who are on Hunter's Mountain right now, which is Crown land, which is protected under our treaties. And it's all in my submission. So should you pass this bill, the people have spoken. They are not leaving. So if that's what you're prepared to do, that's in effect an act of beyond criminalization. It's an act of violence upon our people. And that's what that bill will do to our people further. I don't want to see it to come to that. I'd like to see it turned around, revised, and removed completely from this bill. You can't change the Crown's Land Act just because the provincial government wasn't even dreamt up of when 1867 under the BNA Act, let alone our treaties 1725 onwards. You have no international personality whatsoever or jurisdiction to be having a say on this. I didn't think I had to remind you of that because it's already in the laws. However, here I am.
I'm going to recognize MLA Hanson now, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I want to thank you very much for being here. This, once again, is another overarching power grab that is unnecessary. We have spoken to the government on numerous occasions in our debates, in our sessions about consulting with the landholders, making sure that, because there is laws that say there is a duty to consult. And here we see it again, that there is an overarching power that is unnecessary. When we work together with the people of the land, things happen, and they happen with that conjunction of peace and friendship. I'm really, apologetic, but non-apologetic, because you know my heart. And in saying that, I would really hope that the government side really take this into account. We talk about this all the time, about how it's really important for us to listen to the people of the land. And this is another prime example of why it's so important. When you think about $50,000 to impose that on a person who is protesting, who is there to protect and not harm, it's really steep, and it's actually harmful for communities and people and the communities in which they serve. So I want to say thank you again. I'm sorry you have to be here and have to speak this and have to remind us of the rights that we as settlers hold here, and remind us that we have a duty to play, and we also have to respect those that are the land keepers of this province. And so once again, thank you for your presentation. You've answered all of the things that we needed. And I think folks need to open their minds, open their hearts, and listen to what's happening and understand that they don't have those rights to do that work. And they should be really consulting with the people that this is going to affect and harm. So thank you again for being here.
I recognize Michelle with 20 seconds left.
So, Nita Besk, my good friend, Susie. I've known Susie since we were Three Apples High, and I'm very, very humbled and honored for your presence here today, sister. And I appreciate your good words. What I would recommend, as I already said, I think we're past the fact of speaking with the people, because you've already skipped that step, unfortunately. And you have to just shut it down. You just can't allow this bill to go through. Those of you who are in opposition of, the makeup of your party, there's different parties. I understand that. You're not conservative is what I understand. So you have to make sure you guys have to tell Tim Hewson, the Nova Scotians have already spoken, the ones who stand up for the trees and the lands and the waters and, glyphosate spraying and forestry and all of that. Nova Scotians have been speaking, and we're uniting together to maybe suggest to him that he cleans out his ears, maybe, because we've been saying very loudly, we don't want this. We want to protect our, and we're not open for sale. Mi'kma'ki's unceded land and territory, so you can't sell what's not yours, and you will pay for what you use.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you being here. Our time is up for questions, but thank you.